Yeah. So, we don't have too much this week, but we do have a couple trailers that I just want to get into. The first of which being Rambo 5 Last Blood. Now, this movie's been in development for a long time. I think ever since the last Rambo came out, they've been talking about doing it. Stallone says, he's like, yeah, I'm going to do another one, number 5. And I remember reading some crazy thing about it being him against some kind of a government-created monster or creature or something like that. But eventually, we have what we see now in this trailer where I guess it's, because of his past, he's built up a lot of enemies and they all come after him. And I've read somewhere, or at least seen behind the scenes, where he has some kind of new family of sorts. I don't think it's like his, I don't think he has any kids, but, people he cares about.
I don't know, so I watched the trailer right before we started here, and it is extraordinarily vague who the enemy is he's fighting. It looks very much like a generic action trailer,
Yeah, it is very reminiscent of, Rambo 2 and 3, where he just kind of gets sent into a situation, and there's just a bunch of goons for him to mow down.
It's basically every Stallone movie, let's be honest.
Yeah,
they're all fun, it's just, yeah.
I find that I just never get tired of seeing Stallone in a movie. Yeah.
How about Expendables 4 then?
Did they actually make a fourth Expendables? Because it sounds like a thing that could exist that I've just completely spaced out on.
Yeah, well, they were planning on it, but I think they just didn't get around to doing it because, it's an ensemble movie, and in order for them to actually make that, they have to negotiate everyone's contracts, get everyone on the same schedule, have a script that is at least half decent. I would understand. They don't really need to make another one. I don't want to see another one. I think they did enough.
I mean, I think that's what you could say about a bunch of, Well, what's that on? Number 9 is coming out, right? Or I guess there's Hobbs and Shaw, but
yeah.
Yeah. No, that's gotten pretty gratuitous at this point. But people keep paying to see him, so of course Hollywood's going to keep pumping him out.
Mm-hmm. I will say this trailer does interest me more than the Terminator Dark Fate trailer.
Really?
Yeah. Because, I don't know, it's like with Terminator, I don't want to see another rehash of what we've already seen, but I feel like with Rambo, I don't know, maybe this is kind of hypocritical, I feel like with Rambo it's okay. Because I just don't get tired of seeing Stallone. With Arnold, I don't know, it feels kind of different. His new movies don't give me the same feeling as his classic ones, pre-Governor era.
Right. I mean, I was never a diehard Stallone fan. I enjoy pretty much everything I see him in, but I don't outwardly love him the same way I love early Schwarzenegger, I went through a phase growing up where I just was obsessed with Schwarzenegger movies, Terminator, of course, being very near the top of the list. So yeah, I think for me it's different in that regard. I think I could never get sick of watching an Arnold movie, but Stallone, I could take him or leave him,
Yeah. Well, I kind of feel the opposite, because, with the other things that we always talk about here, sci-fi stuff, comics that I kind of grew up around, Stallone was very much always had a presence in my house. Rocky was always a thing that came around, and, I've seen all the Rambos. I wouldn't say I'm, a longtime fan of them, because I actually watched them relatively recently, considering the time that they came out, but I've just always liked stuff that he's in. Plus, he's Italian, so come on.
Yeah.
Hey.
Me personally, I think I'm kind of mixed because I feel for me, both of them were kind of in my a household thing. Of course I seen a lot of the Rocky stuff.
Yeah, well, of course you're in Philly, so of course you're probably diehard Rocky, right?
Absolutely, a lot of that. Everyone was telling me, "Oh man, remember that bridge? It's not there anymore. You wouldn't have known it because you weren't born." And then there's also Stallone stuff. It was all I mean, Sylvester Arnold Schwarzenegger, yeah, his stuff was also I've seen more of his stuff than Stallone stuff, because with Stallone it's mostly just the Rocky movies and everything.
Yeah, no, but I think Arnold for sure has more diverse filmography. He's definitely gone through more questionable roles. He's definitely had a lot more characters.
Yeah.
For Stallone, it's either Rocky or Rambo. There's not much beyond that.
Well, he's been in a bunch of other action movies, Demolition Man, Cliffhanger, Cobra.
Yeah,
there's been things here and there. What was that one with Arnold? Escape Plan.
Oh, yeah.
That was an interesting one. They actually made an Escape Plan 2 and 3 that Stallone's actually in, but they're straight to DVD.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Really weird.
Yeah. No, it's funny. Like, the one time I went to Philly, which was this past March, we ended up, like, for National Broadcasting Society, like, we do this whole advertising campaign every year where every chapter will make their own advertisement for the organization as a whole, but you have to do it entirely in whatever city the annual convention's in. So we ended up actually recreating the Rocky, like, training montage, like him running up the steps of the Philadelphia Art Museum.
Oh, yeah, I think I saw that.
Yeah. No, it came out pretty nicely, all things considered. Like, considering we shot and edited it all in less than a day, I think it came out pretty nicely.
Although I feel like whoever had to watch that just kind of groaned because they're like...
Yeah.
Like, I feel like everyone who went to Philly must have done that same idea.
Yeah, probably. Of course, we didn't see any of the other chapters, and we got there on the first day, so...
I don't want to undermine it, but I do kind of like whenever I'm near the museum, I do see people like trying to reenact it in some form.
Yeah, I have a feeling that 90% of the tourists who are in Philly, like, specifically have that one thing in mind. I mean, I would do it if I went there. You got to do it.
Yeah.
It's obligatory.
Funny enough, I was taking this graphic design class this past semester. The last Photoshop assignment we had was literally, like, the professor sent us a picture of him posing in front of the Rocky statue, doing the whole, like, pose and everything. And our final assignment was just to do anything to this picture that we learned in class. So, pretty open-ended.
Use this picture.
Yeah, basically I just switched out his upper torso with Rocky's and vice versa. And,
you could have put him underwater, shitty. Gave him a fishbowl helmet.
Yeah, no, there's like a million things it could have done, but that just seemed the most obvious to me. So.
Put him on the moon. I did it! I just ran him on the moon!
What you just saw was a segment from our weekly show, the Utterly Nonsense Podcast, which you can find on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, basically anywhere you can get your podcasts. To see more like this, make sure you subscribe, leave a comment, like the video, and remember, it's not news, it's nonsense. Thanks for listening.